Hello Ratbags, it's Jade, welcome to the Survival News. Yes, I'm back. It's fair to say I've been loving a little bit of Minecraft Dungeons. I thought it was about time I deliver you some survival news this week. And it's a big one, we've got loads of information about what's coming next week. There's going to be some huge reveals, big stuff going down for Ark Survival Evolved, Conan Exiles, Astroneer, Last Oasis, what's going on with that? Am I still going to be playing it? Scrap mechanic on console, is it going to happen? And we'll take a look at a few other new games, including Valheim, a Viking survival game we're going to get news about next week too. Plus Starbase, a brand new MMO voxel kind of space simulation building game. Torchlight 3 beta is finished, we're getting a release date for that soon, and No Man's Sky is on the Xbox Games Pass in June. And I'm also going to talk a little bit constructively criticism of Pixar, what's going on with the console updates for that game, and a lot more. Timestamps are in the comment section, let's go. Okay, so June the 6th to the 8th, obviously big game developers haven't got E3, they haven't got these expos like the game ones that they do in Europe as well. So they're doing it all digitally. Game development has been going through the roof. So many people are at home obviously playing, people are buying stuff, they're doing all right. Don't you worry about the little developers. If they haven't managed to make a buck in these times, then they probably shouldn't be out there trying to make games. It does mean we're going to get a bunch of reveals, and it's great for me. It means I can set my clock, set my notifications, and be able to give you guys all the information as soon as it pops up. There's various different things going on. IGN are doing the collabs with Guerrilla Collective. You've also got the Summer Games Bash or Summer Games event. You've got the Steam event as well. So we're just going to see loads of different reveals. PS5 gaming reveals, Cyberpunk 2077, etc. Yada 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 yada. What I'm more interested in though is the smaller games, the smaller publishers, particularly Funcom. This is Funcom's summer. I had told you guys before Christmas they were bringing out a new expansion. That was gained from watching their CEOs talk about their quarterly earnings. And since then the CEOs have mentioned it a couple times and publicly stated that they are working on a paid expansion. I've done a bunch of videos talking about it, so go and check them out if you want any more info if it's escaped you. I don't believe it's going to be a bolt-on for the current map. I think it's going to be a completely new map, but things may have changed. The way that the CEOs were talking, they strictly said that the map had reached its limits and so they need to find other ways. And then since then the statements have clearly indicated it's going to be an expansion. Not just skins or weapons or armors like the previous DLCs that Funcom pretty much regularly pop out, but an actual proper new map, new areas to explore, and new ways to play the game, including in my opinion probably sorcery. Obviously Funcom update the game Conan Exiles pretty regularly. The last update, the followers update, is okay. It wasn't as sexy as I think it should have been, considering it had been 5 months since their last update. But hey ho, they're still working on a bunch of stuff as well, including obviously the test live stuff. They finally are bringing avatars back, and it looks like they're trying to get all the good PR going. If they can announce maybe by next week that avatars will be back ahead of their reveal at one of these games preview events, then I don't think too many people are going to complain. Conan is just a little bit stale. The map is too small, the servers haven't got enough players on them, and so it just does become a little bit repetitive, more so than some other survival games. That's an opinion, but I think it's proven by some of the official player numbers. Over the years they've dwindled quite a lot, but for sure I think everyone recognises that Conan Exiles does need a new explorable area that isn't just a dungeon. Now since then though, there have been lots of improvements talked about by their new producer and sometimes other devs. They're saying that they may not introduce such a strict cap on thralls and followers now. That's other big news that I learned of yesterday or the other day. Previously it was announced that you would have to maybe get down to 55 followers. And they did this because they were pretty much improving the AI of the followers, but that meant a lot of performance. Well, they've said now they've made a lot of savings, so it may not be that much. You may even be able to have much more than that, 70, 80, 90, we're not too sure. So hold that thought if you're worried about your followers, your creatures all being taken away from you. It may not be as bad. Now that's not necessarily been spoken about in this test live patch. This is mostly focusing just on bringing the avatars back, but I do expect it to be something they announce in the next few weeks. When can you expect this to hit Xbox, PlayStation and PC main game? I would say probably the end of June. It does look like they've got a good few weeks left of testing, but I was quite surprised that once they got the followers update done on the test live, they actually produced it on Xbox and PlayStation at the same time as PC. And that's something Funcom have been doing for a while now. So props to them. I'm always giving companies crap when they're not treating consoles as good as PC, but they do tend to go for this nowadays. They've kind of made Conan Exiles more of a live game. So yeah, we're going to get the expansion reveal. I'm 100% certain of it. We're going to see that at one of these events. It does look like it's going to be the PC gaming event on the 6th of June, although it does look like they're also part of this Guerrilla Collective as well. Last year they revealed Conan Chop Chop. They also revealed the Moons of Madness. I think they also revealed Mutant something else DLC, or that it was coming to Switch or something like that. Maybe it was the full game. I can't remember, to be honest. I do remember covering it though, and I was a bit surprised they didn't have any real news about Conan Exiles, or that it was only just one of their smaller DLCs they showed off. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we're going to get the reveal of the expansion. They are working on a completely brand new game as well. They've got Troy Baker involved, as well as David Goldfab. I don't think it's necessarily going to be the June make that they're doing. That looks to be a good few years away. This isn't the only report I've found. A bunch of things from them themselves, the CEO reports, have said that it's a good way away. So don't expect to see June actually come out as a game until at least 2022. But you never know, they may do a bit of a teaser reveal. If you don't know, June is meant to be an upgraded Conan Exiles. It's going to be very similar in that same vein, but bigger scope, lots more funding since Daddy Tencent's involved now. So yeah, that could be something that gets teased at least this summer. Don't expect it until next year, the end of it maybe. So good stuff. I'm really excited. Hopefully we're going to get into it. I'll be the first person to show you the new trailer, reaction, and any information we gain from it. And yes, it's going to be a big week for Ark Survival Evolved, celebrating its 5th birthday. 5 years I've been covering this game nearly. In fact, I didn't actually start covering it until it came out on the Xbox in December 2015. But we'll call it 5 years. Obviously the Tropio is coming. A reminder for everyone, this is going to be available for everyone on PlayStation, Xbox, and it's going to be across all game mode servers. I should be able to find it on all the maps. It's not restricted just one DLC. It's going to be implemented wholesale. It's the Crystal Isles map that won't be coming until a little bit later for Xbox and PlayStation. There's been big progress though on that map. Remember, it's kind of still being worked on. ISO, the creator, didn't know anything about it being happening until literally 2 days before the announcement. So loaded clickbait, and anyone else that wants to say they told you all about this a year ago or 18 months ago is talking out of their arse as always. It stands to reason that some of the maps that have been supported in the past by Wildcard, by giving them money, that's what they do, they give the modders some money every month, some of the modders that are in their program at least, that yeah, one of them maps may come to console in the future. But considering there's been over 70 different mods in that program, yet we've only received maybe 3 actually out of that actually came and made it to the main game. And they've all been maps, or the only one different was Primitive Structures Plus. I think it's safe to say, don't watch any more stupid clickbait that says this map's coming or this DLC's coming. Just putting it out there. But yeah, I spoke to ISO, I asked her when the announcement got made, and she did say that she only found out about it a few days ago. But it is now 100% complete. So this is the first update on PC. It looks like they're still going to be updating and gradually improving it. And it does look like lots of the biomes are still there. The rainforest, snow and floating islands are now completely done. There's lots of other places being updated and cleaned up to match the current level of detail. The Kristen Wyverns will be there, confirmed again. Again, I got this slightly wrong. I assumed they wouldn't be able to implement some of these. But Kaya on Fire, who's been helping me do all the art content, did correct me. But, the Crystal Wyverns have been reworked. They may be different. They don't know the details. ISO isn't responsible for that. That's down to Wildcard. So if you're expecting the Crystal Wyverns to have exactly the same abilities as they do on PC, think again. It looks like they're probably going to standardise them a little bit more. Maybe give them something a little bit like what they used to have. But it did sound like they were a little bit OP. Some of the custom resources have been removed, but the liquid dinos still live on. That's good stuff as well. So that's another bunch of new creatures in the game. Rock drakes will not be on the map. They've been removed, but the cave is still there. That's surprising, considering rock drakes are like part of the Aberration DLC, which is like nearly 3 years old now, 4 years old. I'm surprised they're not using that as a free creature, as it were. The cave that's still there for them is still going to be there, and all the caves that are currently there are going to be still there. And yes, the infinite rain bug is fixed, and lots of other stuff will be added. So this looks like this is what's going to be going live next week. Now when they say the map is 100% complete, it doesn't mean the whole map is fully fleshed out. Or it does mean it's fleshed out, but it doesn't mean it's 100% right. As in, the map is there, they know exactly what the terrain's going to be, but there's still going to be some pathing issues. They're still going to probably be working on spawns in the future. But again, I could be wrong. But that's great news, and that's the first I've seen anyone talk about what's happening with the Crystal Dinos. And I probably will do a separate video, or Kaya on Fire will, to explain it a bit more. There's likely to be a combination of bosses, pretty much like Valguero, where you fought 3 of them at the same time. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I will be back with more details about them liquid dinos, and we'll go through it all, either me or Kaya will, in the coming days. I'm expecting a bunch of fixes, quality of life improvements alongside the update obviously. It is still sucky that PC are getting it and Xbox and PlayStation won't be. Hopefully it won't be too long, but I'm kind of not expecting it maybe to happen for a good few months yet. I really don't expect Xbox and PlayStation to get the brand new Crystal Isles map until maybe September time. Also, just in time for Ark's birthday is, of course, it's going free to play on the Epic Games Store. Just like I told you guys first over a week ago, the leaks are real. They said that Civilization and Borderlands Handsome Collection would be coming free on the Epic Games Store, and it's turned out to be true. And so the next game after that list was Ark Survival Evolved. As you can see, it unlocks on its birthday or close to it, the 4th or the 5th. So it is a thing. There's going to be renewed interest in Ark Survival Evolved, particularly on PC obviously. We still don't know so much stuff though. Will it have direct links to Steam support so that we can have mods? Is it going to be just a Windows 10 game? I really hope not, considering that Ark Survival Evolved is actually made via Epic Games and its dev kit, all made through the Unreal Store. It'd be pretty amazing if Ark Survival Evolved doesn't allow you to have mod support on the Epic Games Store. But like I said, I'll let you guys know the minute we get any more information. I will sure as hell tell you. And moving on to the bastard child of Ark Survival Evolved, PixARK. It's been like 10 months since PixARK offered their Skyward DLC. Now this is a game I gave a lot of shit to. I thought it was the chosen one at first. I thought, a great idea. Combine Minecraft and Ark. What an amazing achievement. But on console it was pretty much trash. Even if it was in game preview, it was probably one of the worst game preview games I've played. Just in terms of mechanically working and some issues, being able to connect. You couldn't even play multiplayer. They didn't even have servers running for it properly. And it took forever to get anything sorted. It took months and months and months to get some stuff done for the Xbox version. But eventually it came out on Xbox, PlayStation 4. And I definitely know there's some of you guys that like playing it. But I pretty much put it to the back burner for sure. But anyway, the Skyward DLC was free. They ended up releasing it on PC. And they've got even more content coming. Apparently Children's Day is coming. It's an event. They're adding a bunch of new costumes, new items, new creatures. Lots of new variations, Cobalt, Skeleton Skin, Rex, Mega Rocks, Dragon Skin. Pretty much decorative items, making it a bit more cutesy, etc. Children's hats, costumes, new skins for weapons or new items. It all looks really good. I won't knock it, they have been doing this kind of stuff consistently on PC at least anyway. They have been having things like anniversary events and special days for Halloween and stuff like that. Pretty much what you kind of expect from Ark Survival Evolved. They've pretty much been doing it on PixARK too. Only on PC though. On Xbox and PlayStation they're still waiting for that DLC. And as I said, it's been 10 months. Why is that? Well, the player base for this game strictly is Chinese. Now I say player base, there really isn't that much on Steam. But I'm presuming that this game was really made for a Chinese audience because they are mostly PC players. Yes, there are Xboxes and PlayStations sold in China. But for most gamers out there, they have other, obviously, companies, other ways to play these games, and PC is one of the #1 places. Although not Steam, I imagine the numbers playing on different platforms are much higher in China. And so that's pretty much, in my opinion, why they're not bringing this out to Xbox and PlayStation. PixARK was made by a Chinese development team from Snail Games, the owners of Ark Survival Evolved, the IP, and Wildcard, and Atlas. They're the ones that won't allow an update for Ark on the Switch either. And it looks like they just want to service more of their player base rather than anyone else. Because there can be no other reason why it's taken like 9 or 10 months since the Skyward DLC come out for it to appear on Xbox, PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch. They've been updating the game on console a little bit in terms of server stuff and a couple hot fixes here and there. In fact, it's been over a month that Xbox have been having significant problems too joining servers. All in all, it's a pretty much a shit show for this game. If you're buying it on console, I wouldn't unless it was really super dirt cheap. I'm sure your kids might enjoy it for a little while, but they'll probably get frustrated with the amount of bugs, problems in the game, and continuously seeing content in videos and other people on PC that isn't there on the console version. The developers haven't really been upfront in addressing the situation either. They haven't really mentioned it as far as I can see why they haven't brought out the DLC on Xbox and PlayStation, or whether or not it'll actually ever come. So yeah, I still personally think PixArk's not worth your time. It's just about made it in my top 30 survival games, but only really because that's about as many as you can get on an Xbox or a PlayStation. Get Dragon Quest builders, buy them a bunch of skins or mods for Minecraft, infinitely better games than PixArk. So Astroneer is incoming with its automation update. That's going to be coming to the Xbox, PlayStation and PC soon. But more excitingly for a lot of players, they've just added dedicated server support. They live streamed a bunch of development stuff last night, showing off some new features, new artwork and all sorts of stuff they've got going on. The update that went live a couple of days ago added a brand new camera mode and of course them dedicated servers. So you can now rent a server from Nitrado and play with your friends and not have to worry about shutting down the world. Your friends will still be able to go off and do their own thing. But don't worry, they're not simply just saying that's it, go and play dedicated. They have added a bunch of improvements for the local multiplayer or online multiplayer, which has been one of the biggest criticisms of Astroneer. You can play with up to 8 players on a server, and that's a pretty big improvement. You can see it's on PC and Xbox One, although there's no actual mention of PlayStation 4 here. Astroneer only launched on the PS4 just towards the end of last year, so maybe it's going to be a few months down the road. If I get any more news about when it's coming to the PlayStation 4, I'll let you guys know. It was also announced a couple of days ago that No Man's Sky is going to be free on the Games Pass on Xbox. So if you've not played No Man's Sky, maybe you've always been put off by the stigma of its launch, you're probably missing out. At least give it a try. It's had 8 major free expansions. No paid DLC has ever gone past No Man's Sky. Loads of things to do. You can play multiplayer with your friends. It's also coming to the Windows Store for some reason. If you wanted to buy it on the Windows Store rather than Steam, I really recommend you don't do that though. It takes like 10 years to download anything off of the store. I don't think it has mod support like it does on Steam either. But you will get it for free on the Xbox Games Pass as well. Now I can't actually see a date anywhere exactly when it's going to be happening. They've just simply said June. It's probably going to be around June the 5th or 6th when we see a bunch of these reveals. We saw that DayZ, as crap as that is on the console, has got a massive injection of players on the Xbox when it launched in May. But good stuff. If you've not tried it on the Xbox, go and give it a shout when it comes to the Games Pass. Scrap Mechanic Survival was really fun. I got really into it, but I have been busy doing other stuff lately. And because it's not on Xbox and PlayStation, I find you guys maybe aren't as interested in it. But it is adding challenge mode back. It was something that's been in the game for a good few years. But they took it out obviously when they updated the game for survival, where it's now there as an option on PC. But it's a great game, I'm absolutely still enjoying it, and I am going to be returning to do some content soon. Got some ideas. I did do a bit of a challenge with one of my subs, and obviously when they add more content to the survival mode, I'll be there to cover it, and there's still some stuff I want to build and make too. But if you dig deep and go way back when, 2018, I know it's a while away, they did say that they would look at bringing Scrap Mechanic to consoles after the survival mode is in the game. Now obviously it'll probably be with 4.10 release, and I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Survival mode is kind of the last puzzle that I add into the game, but it definitely needs a lot more work. It needs more content and things to do, and so I'm not expecting the full release for Scrap Mechanic until next year. But I do believe it will come to the Xbox and PlayStation 4. Developers themselves have obviously said it in the past. They'll look into consoles after survival is in the game. Now, Scrap Mechanic has got some complicated stuff in it in terms of creating these creations and the logic and the systems. It is a bit of a beast taking out of your PC as well. Like literally, I can hear my PC going all sorts of noise, maybe even more than Ark or Conan. So yeah, they've got a lot of work to do with optimizations, but the way that so many of these other big open world survival games have made it to console, I can't see any reason why Scrap Mechanic doesn't make it either. So yeah, not ruling it out, it will happen, but don't expect it until next year. So another game I've been keeping tabs on is Starbase. It's pretty much Space Engineers but on a grander scale. It's a proper MMO where it's going to have servers filled with players, like hundreds and hundreds of them I do believe. You can create your own space stations, you can be a trader, you can sell stuff, you can go and explore planets and make all sorts of things. But there is PvP elements to it, so you will have to maybe think about joining factions and all sorts of stuff. The developers showed off a stream yesterday that's got some proper glimpses of what the game's going to be like. I really like the look at this. Obviously it's in alpha at the moment, but it's coming along nicely. Starbase could be the real deal. There's no release date for Starbase yet. I think they did initially say 2020, so we've got a good while yet. It's alpha, maybe they'll be looking towards the end of the year. But nevertheless, it's looking cool. It looks interesting. I like the idea that, again, like Space Engineers, you'll be able to build stuff. It's maybe not as janky as Space Engineers. The idea that it's a proper MMO as well, not just on private servers or having a limit, but you can actually play it in a big open setting. That'd be pretty cool too. So yeah, I'll be doing some more follow-up videos soon. You can see a player actually coming outside of his ship there. So you can fight hand-to-hand combat. You can shoot at other players with guns and weapons. And it's really cool how you can make all sorts of different ships. Really, really looking good. Can't wait to see if I can get a go of this in some sort of preview soon. A game I've been following for a while. It's actually on the itch.io site as a demo. Obviously it's been updated a lot more since then, but you won't be able to play that version because it's coming to Steam in the future. It's in beta at the moment, or you're going to be able to sign up for the beta. It's Valheim. Now I've shown this off briefly in a couple of videos detailing survival games coming, but it looks like they are going to be announcing some big stuff soon. They're also part of the PC Gamer Show on June the 5th or June the 6th. June the 6th it is. So I'm fully expecting them to announce a Steam Early Access release date and obviously more gameplay. So if you love the idea of being a Viking but a survival game setting, you'll be able to rent your own servers by looks of things, or host your own servers I should say. The graphics and the art style are a bit different. I think some people are still going to find it a little bit odd. It's just got a bit of an old school vibe to it. You can see it's quite heavily pixelated and voxelated, but it does mean you can create some really, really unique stuff. I think the water in this is absolutely amazing. I've seen some footage obviously here of like the waves and the storms coming in. It looks fantastic. So yeah, I really want to give this a try. It looks pretty unique. It's a very small team that are making it. It might even be a solo dude, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, lots of stuff, all the usual, go around, gathering resources, taking on wildlife, and obviously terraforming as well, building up and making your own house, your log cabin. So yeah, for sure, I want to give this a shot. It does look a bit more different than some of the other survival games you've played in the past, but look at all the creatures you can face, proper Norwegian sort of myths and legends. Strictly not survival, but you guys might know by now I like RPG games. Well, certainly I like Torchlight series. Loved the first one, played the second one a bunch, and it did pretty well in some of my guides tutorials when it came out, particularly for the Switch. But they've just announced that their beta is closing, they're finishing, which does mean we're going to see the full release coming very soon. It's had an up and down process, Torchlight 3. It's been in what seemed to be closed alpha beta for like a year or so, 2 years. They were going to have it as free to play, and they suddenly changed their mind recently, saying that it's going to be a paid release, no more free to play mechanics. They're going to be announcing something big next week again, part of the games reveals at all these events. So I'm looking forward to this. I will definitely be covering this on the channel. Last Oasis private servers finally went live this week after seeming to be a bunch of delays. I really enjoyed Last Oasis, but I have stopped playing it for now. I just got too busy and bogged down with other stuff going on. I did take a week off, and then I had some other things to deal with in real life, and so I couldn't devote enough time. I was hoping that Last Oasis would be the answer to having to be a no-lifer on these PvP games. Worried about getting offline raided all the time. It certainly does have them benefits. You don't have to. You can pack your walkers away, but you still need a relatively big clan base. So my clan, I pushed them off into their own separate Discord because I knew I might not be on it as much, and I am pretty much putting the lid on playing Last Oasis for now, other than maybe renting out a private server. They have got lots of other stuff incoming. The devs are pretty active. The Oases they've got now last up to 10 days instead of 7. And making big changes to the meta and the game, because it's still way too weighted towards bigger clans. But yeah, I probably am taking a little bit of a break from Last Oasis now until we get some more decent content added to it and it's a little bit stable. That was one of the other big things that kind of put me off. I couldn't wait around for days, even when they had server outages, trying to connect or get some new content out. And it's one of them games that as a streamer or YouTuber, you've got to commit to playing every single day, and I just simply don't have that much time. But I will be back, and I am hoping to rent my own server so we can have some fun. So there we go, guys. That is all the survival news today. Big games news, big stuff happening. As ever, I'll be there always so that you know exactly what's going on. I'll be here covering all of them reveals, all them releases when it happens next week. So make sure you tuned in, make sure you've got notifications turned on, and I'll see you rat bags very soon.